As far as the integration of services around housing and moving away from emergency responses, I've seen a couple of things happen in different cities. In some cases, there's simply a kind of voluntary recognition that this is what we need to be doing as a sector, and the leadership comes from within the sector, and groups begin to move. They say, we're not going to be handing out sandwiches on the street anymore. We're going to focus on getting people housed. We're not going to be running our day centers as places where people can congregate. We're going to turn them into housing placement centers. I've seen that in some cities where the voluntary sector just recognizes what's possible and what needs to be done and moves in that direction. I've also seen plenty of cases where the change has required the leadership of government saying, we're just not going to pay for those old services anymore because what we want now is a different set of outcomes. Interestingly, in New York City, we had a very dramatic example of that. The Common Ground Street to Home program was privately funded, and we were working quietly to just house people directly from the street. And ultimately, the city's Homeless Services Administration, which realized it was spending over $7 million a year on outreach contracts that weren't leading to anyone being housed. They saw the work that we were doing, which was getting people off the street, and they canceled all of those millions of dollars worth of contracts and just said, we're not buying that service anymore. We're going to require our contract agencies be about housing placement. And so that forced a real upheaval and growth in the field, where everyone began adopting a housing placement focus. And it took the leadership of government to make that happen. And I think that the sector has, after being a bit apoplectic initially about the forced change, just takes stock of its work now and sees the number of homeless people on the street going further down and feels very proud of the fact that it made the shift.